Well, welcome everybody and thank you for being here tonight for the candidate forum for the Castro Valley Sanitary District. I'm Penny Peck of the League of Women Voters, Eden area. The League of Women Voters is a trusted membership organization that encourages informed and active participation in government. We do not endorse or oppose candidates or political parties. For decades, well, actually, for at least a century, we have offered fair and balanced candidate forums. The League participates in advocacy and voter education. The advocacy arm of the League may take positions on issues such as ballot measures like propositions, but this forum is presented by the education arm of the League. I'd like to remind everyone that the candidates have all agreed to participate under the ground rules for this forum. The League is very proud of their history of civil discourse and nonpartisan forums. This is an educational event, not a debate. Before we get started, there's some details to review that will help you interact with the session. If you need translation, click on the Show Captions area along the bottom of the screen. That's the Show Captions area along the bottom of the screen and choose Speaking Language, and then just follow the directions from there. Microphones are muted for everyone except the candidates and the moderator, and video images will show the candidates and the moderator only. Candidates will stay on screen for the entire forum and will mute until it's their turn to speak. We are recording this forum and will be posting it via our websites and YouTube for the broader community to access. Tonight, we have two forums to present in this session. This first one will be for the position of Castro Valley Sanitary District. There are 6 candidates running for this elected office, and there are 3 candidates here for the forum. Let's see. All candidates were invited to the forum. Candidates who are not present were given the option to provide a statement, which I will read as the moderator. I will read it at the end of the closing statements. Now, the second forum this evening would begin at 7 p.m., and that's for the Castro Valley School Board. All right. We will be handling questions for the candidates in the following manner. The League is proud of its outreach to the community. Questions for this forum have been solicited in advance from the community and from our local leagues. We have screened the questions to ensure that they're fair and unbiased and to avoid duplication and anything inappropriate or unclear. The order of answering the questions will alternate, and each candidate will have 1 minute to respond to a question. Please keep an eye on the timer on the timekeeper's screen. The clock will signal the candidates of their remaining time and when their turn is up. As moderator, I may verbally give some prompts as well. Remember that if you go over time, I will remind you. If you keep doing it, that's a violation of the ground rules, and we might have to skip your turn, but I would love to avoid that. There's no separate rebuttals. Just following the questions, each candidate will have 2 minutes for a closing statement. And I've ordered, the candidates have been randomly assigned by picking names. I already did that. And we're going to start with their opening statement, which is also 2 minutes. And they're going to go in this order. First up will be the candidate Akagi. Next will be candidate McGowan. And then we have candidate Sadoff. So we'll go in that order for the opening statement. And then when we do the questions, we're going to alternate who goes first, who goes second, and so forth. So I believe we're ready to begin with our opening statements of 2 minutes each. And that will begin with candidate Akagi. Go ahead and unmute, Mr. Very good. And go ahead, Mr. Akagi. Thank you. Joe, did you want to say anything right quick?
I had one question. The timer had said that she would wave a red sign when our time was up, but I don't see her.
Yes, I don't see her either.
She has lost connection.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm back, guys. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
So I have a red sign here. 30 seconds is yellow and red is stop.
Okay.
Well,
Until
thank you
Linda
very
comes
much.
back. Sorry.
No,
Okay.
this is fine.
That's fine.
Although,
2 minutes.
all right.
And then for our question times, those will be 1 minute. So
Okay.
we're ready to begin our opening statements of 2 minutes each. Candidate Akagi, go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Danny Akagi. I'm a candidate for being a member of the board of the Castro Valley Sanitary District. I've been on the board for 29 years now, and I believe I've served well. I have my education is I have a bachelor's and a master's degrees from the University of California at Berkeley. I'm a registered civil engineer that specializes in sanitary engineering. So I find this very interesting job. I understand all the technical material. I believe in delivering a good service at a reasonable price. It doesn't have to be the cheapest price, but it has to be reasonable. I believe that my service, as well as the service of the two other incumbents I'm running with here, we've managed to keep the district in good financial shape. We meet all our regulatory requirements. We do it at a reasonable cost, and maybe the most important thing is we don't have enforcement actions against us. Because once you get an enforcement action against you, you no longer get to choose and decide how to do things. You're forced to do things. So I believe that myself, Dave, and Tim, we've done a very good job. We've had a combined history of about 60 years of service. And I believe I believe the sanitary district is very well run and is in very sound financial shape. So I hope the people watching this would consider voting for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next up, we'll hear from candidate McGowan, a 2-minute opening statement.
Thank you very much. I'm Timothy McGowan, and I've been a resident of the Castro Valley Sanitary District service area since 1998. I'm married with 2 adult children that both attended public schools in Castro Valley and are now attending college at public universities. I graduated from UC Davis and was hired straight out of college by the East Bay Municipal Utility District, where I've worked for over 30 years as a civil engineer. For the last 9 years, I was a senior civil engineer in charge of our major facilities planning section, developing new projects for water treatment plants, pumping plants, water storage facilities, and large diameter pipelines and tunnels. In addition to being a licensed civil engineer, I'm also a licensed water treatment plant operator and a licensed water distribution operator. I was first elected to the Castro Valley Sanitary District Board in 2004 and have served for about 20 years. Some of the accomplishments that I'm most proud of include our inspection upon sale, sewer lateral program, our horizontal levee and equalization basin project, our 3 Ps and wastewater public education program, and our zero waste program. Major challenges and opportunities that I see for the next 4 years include nutrient removal to protect the bay from harmful algae blooms, adaptation to climate change, negotiating a new landfill disposal agreement in 2026, and negotiating a new labor agreement with our employees also in 2026. Daniel Akagi, Dave Sadoff, and I are a collaborative government team with a proven history of success and a plan for the future. I hope that you'll support our future success by voting for all 3 incumbents and giving us 4 more years. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And now an opening statement from candidate Dave Sadoff.
Hello, my name is Dave Sadoff, and I want to thank the League of Women Voters for sponsoring this forum. I am seeking re-election to the CVSAN Board of Directors, along with my colleagues Tim McGowan and Danny Akagi. We have been at the forefront of leading CVSAN, an efficient and innovative organization. My wife and I are 32-year residents of Castro Valley with 2 children who attended Castro Valley schools. I'm a professional geologist specializing in environmental and hydrogeology issues for the past 38 years. I'm a board member of the Alameda County Waste Management Authority, and I am an active member of the American Institute of Professional Geologists and the Castro Valley Rotary Club. I'd like to give an example of one of CVSAN's accomplishments under our leadership. The San Francisco Bay Institute, a leading environmental organization, does not give awards to sanitary district wastewater plants that discharge treated water to the bay, except to CVSAN for our Ecotone horizontal levee project. We received the Bay Hero Award for this project, which created 2 things: a large wetland basin which removes contaminants from wastewater and provides extra wet weather storage capacity, and building an experimental sloping levee to combat rising sea levels. Not only did this project improve CVSAN's infrastructure, but also shows our commitment to improving the environment. This project has been proven very successful and is a model for worldwide application. With your vote, Tim, Danny, and I will continue to help guide CVSAN's commitment to excellence. Above all, I will always remember that I work for you and will continue to strive to make sure that CVSAN provides you with the best possible service at the lowest possible rates. I respectfully ask for your vote.
Thank you so much. Now we're going to have our questions. We have 9 questions for this particular forum, and we'll begin with candidate Akagi for the first question. Then the second question, I'll go to candidate McGowan first. Third question, candidate Sadoff first, and so forth. And so I think we all know what we're doing. It's 1 minute each, and we'll begin with question number 1, and I'll be coming to you first, candidate Akagi. What do you view as the role and responsibilities of a board member? And how do your skills and qualifications enable you to be a good fit to serve? Go ahead.
So as a board member, our job is to establish policy at the high level. Some people may think as a board member, you get to direct staff and things like that. Really, in my opinion, the board, we have only 1 employee, and that's our general manager. He is responsible for running the district, the day-to-day operations. We guide him or give him our priorities. So he runs the district. We establish the priorities. One of my jobs, our jobs, is to give him the right tools to perform that. And I believe Dave, Tim, and I have done that, and have, we have a very successful district. We've won many awards, and I want to continue that for another 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you. By the way, I should have mentioned this before. If anybody needs me to repeat a question, please let me know. It does not come out of your time. Next up, Mr. McGowan, your answer to that question. Go ahead and unmute.
Thank you for the reminder to unmute. My answer is very similar to candidate Akagi's. The role of the board is to set policy. Our role is to essentially set the goals and help the staff develop a strategic plan. But really, the execution of those goals are formulated by our general manager, and then through him, our staff. And to that end, it's one of the reasons why selecting a general manager is such an important duty for a board. Without a good, solid general manager with a lot of experience, your agency can definitely run sideways. And so I'm very happy that we have Roland Williams as our general manager, who has over 30 years of experience with us. Our other big role is to set the budget and make sure that our rates are reasonable and fair. And so thank you very much.
Great, thank you. And candidate Sadoff, your response.
Sure. Yes. My vision of the board role is the same as the other two incumbents have stated. Our role is to set policy. As a matter of fact, we just had a special meeting, district meeting, board meeting to go over our strategic plan going forward. And we do that with department heads. So it's collaborative with the board and the department heads to for the 50,000-foot view of how to run the operations. So again, we set the priorities and the policies, and they can see us firsthand at these meetings and get to work. Another way to I attend conferences specific to sanitation agencies, and they have modules on board duties and performance. And so I try to keep up to date on laws and regulations like Brown rule or the Brown public meeting issues and so forth.
Great, thank you. Now, our second question will begin with candidate McGowan. How do the Castro Valley Sanitation District's policies impact public health and safety?
Thank you for the question. Certainly, sorry, I'll pause for a second. So we're responsible for sewer collection or sewage collection and sewage treatment, and then for the solid waste collection and recycling collection and that disposal or recycling. Both of those are really key into limiting the vectors for disease. We want to keep viruses and other diseases out of the water. That protects the public health. It helps ensure that other people have good drinking water, and collecting the trash makes sure that we don't have vermin that come in to eat our trash and then spread diseases. So, really both trying to prevent the next Black Plague. Thank you.
Thank you. And candidate Sadoff, your response.
Sure. So our number one responsibility is to not spill a drop. All the wastewater that goes into our collection system, that's our number one priority. And in order to do that, we use a lot of outreach, public outreach, especially for things like fats, oils, and grease or fog, especially around the holidays where some people might be putting some of their turkey grease down the drain, which is not a good thing. It blocks both the private lateral, which the ratepayer, the homeowner has to maintain, and our main pipelines. So we do this, and we do not want to have sanitary sewer overflows. That's the worst thing that can happen in our sewer system. We work hard to prevent that by public outreach.
Thank you. And candidate Akagi.
Yeah, so a lot was said about why we do it. We do it for public health. When was the last time you heard of a polio outbreak in the United States? The industry in general has done a very good job. Here in the Bay Area, we're a very dense population. We have a large estuary out there with a lot of water contact activity, similar to Southern California beaches. You don't hear about people getting cholera or typhoid or polio from the wastewater. So our collection, our treatment is very good. The groundwater basins aren't contaminated with sewage, so our pipes aren't leaking and contaminating groundwater. Our solid waste services, we take care of the putrescible matter by disposing it. We educate our customers on the proper use. We provide the proper disposal services and containers. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. Now, question number 3 will begin with candidate Sadoff. If elected, how would you address maintenance and replacement of the aging infrastructure? I'll repeat
If
that.
elected, I would continue. Sorry.
Go ahead.
If elected, I would continue what we have in place now, which is we have 150 miles of public mains that we need to maintain. We try to inspect at least 5 miles a year, if not more, via closed circuit TV to identify weaknesses in our system. Those could be offsets, root intrusion, any number of things. And then we prioritize our maintenance staff to take care of those issues before they become a problem. We have been very successful at this. We have a wide maintenance program. We know where the problem spots are just from our the length of time that we've been looking at all these pipelines. So I would continue to do what has worked. If it's not broken, why fix it?
Thank you. Next up, we'll hear from candidate Akagi.
Yes. Can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. If elected, how would you address maintenance and replacement of the aging infrastructure?
Okay, so it goes back to our employees or Roland's employees. We have our collection system crew who does the cleaning and inspection, and they do some of the minor repairs. We've had award-winning programs at the statewide level. So, and Roland is very good about maintaining that. When we have issues, we seek out and we competitively bid sewer replacement and rehabilitation projects. We look at alternative or new technology for replacing pipelines or renewing pipelines without massive trenches running down the street. So we and the education of our thank you.
Great, thank you. And Mr. McGowan, your thoughts on this issue?
Yes, I think, really what's key is keeping your rate structure such that you're not the rock bottom price, but that you're at a reasonable rate so that you can fund future maintenance. And that's been, important to me that, it's really easy to have low rates. You just don't fix anything. We have done a good job of setting out a reasonable budget and actually going out and fixing things. Prior to us starting out on the O&E building, which has kind of taken a lot of our bandwidth, we were doing $1 million a year in pipeline replacement. My intention is that once that O&E building is done, that we will go back to doing another $1 million a year in pipeline replacement every single year. We're also going to be doing a new sewer master plan as part of our strategic plan, and that'll help shape what our goals should be going forward. Obviously, the key for a collection system is doing inspections. And with that, my time's up. Thank you.
Thank you. In fact, my next question is about that O&E building you just mentioned. And so this time we'll go first back to candidate Akagi as the first. Explain how the new CB Sands operation and engineering building will impact our community.
Well, to me, the word impact has some bad connotations. What's the impact of high interest rates? What's the impact of high gas prices? So I think the O&E building is a benefit to the district, which then benefits the community. In my opening statement, I mentioned you don't want to be enforced upon by a regulator. So what that means is you've got to have enough resources and the proper programs in place to maintain the system and stay out of trouble. So at our current building, we ran out of room. We have equipment that's stored outside. These are vehicles that cost $250,000. We want them protected, so we needed a new facility. The increase in inspection and cleaning requires expanded staff. Thank you.
Thank you. And candidate McGowan, your thoughts?
So when I became a board member in 2004, CV San had about 8 employees, and that's roughly what our old building was sized for. But we now have 23 employees, which means those employees have shared offices, and not just shared offices, but shared desks. To try to expand our workable space, we converted our garage into office space. But our boardroom has now become our only conference room, cafeteria, classroom for 4-hour trips, and library. And to kind of highlight the problems we're having, when I showed up last week, one of our department heads was working on her laptop in the boardroom because it was someone else's turn to use her desk. That really had to stop. And so the O&E building is going to give us the space that we need for our employees to work, have conference rooms, have vehicle maintenance. It's going to be a LEED certified structure with a demonstration garden that's bay friendly. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And Candidate Sadoff, your thoughts?
Yeah, so the new building is going to streamline our facilities and enabling us to more efficiently conduct our business instead of having a satellite office over at Patio Drive in the village where we had one department, the engineering department. We will now have all the employees under one roof, and it won't be a crowded roof. So it's going to, we don't even have a place for our interns. We have an overworked staff, and we typically have several interns helping out staff, and we literally have no cube to put them in. So it's going to help us become more efficient and in turn help the community.
Thank you so much. All right. I think everybody went. And so our next question will go now first to Candidate McGowan. I think that's right.
Yeah.
What programs would you develop to improve waste education, reduction, and promote recycling at schools?
You're
Go ahead.
muted.
All right. The good news is we already have a fantastic zero waste program. As I said in my opening statement, our zero waste program is actually one of the things I'm most proud of at CV San. And we have a long history of being a leader in waste reduction. We started curbside recycling in 1991. We were the first entity in Alameda County to do food scrap recycling. And then within the schools, we have really the spearhead is 2 programs. We have our 4 R's field trip. Every classroom in the 3rd grade visits our facilities, and we tell them about the 4 R's and the 3 P's. And then in the 4th grade, they can have a field trip to the transfer station. Those activities combined with other activities that they do to green up their schools qualifies those schools for a green ribbon and a cash reward from CV San. And so those have been the things that we've been doing and that I would continue to do.
Thank you. Candidate Sadoff, your thoughts?
Sure. So this is one of my favorite programs. Tim was alluding to the Green Ribbon program. I also have a seat on the Waste Management Authority. It's a JPA, also called Stop Waste, and which is really involved in these sorts of programs. And they look to us. They look to our department. I was just at a meeting last month where they were talking about one of our staff, Jordan Figurado, who is helping them, and they're actually using our system basically as models for some of their programs. Using the sanitary district, it's all we do is we treat wastewater and solid waste. When you get to the city or county level, they have a lot of other things on their plate. So we are really good at it. And this is a great program. I went to Jensen Ranch last week during an assembly to give a check for the school to use because they met certain metrics which improve their recycling programs. And we get the kids young, and it continues on to the parents and through high school and the rest of their life.
Great, thank you. Candidate Akagi, what do you think?
I think the education part, as many of our programs, are very wide, and as you're starting to see, it's very difficult for each of us to cover the entire thing. So I would like to add that our general manager, again, I believe in giving Roland, our general manager, the right tools. He hired an outreach guy who is actually was a radio DJ, and he understands how to communicate with school age kids, and really what piques their interest and hold on to their interest to get them to practice use the right practices and start to believe in them and know how to use them. And what goes actually beyond the school is the kids will now drive their parents nuts.
Great, thank you. All right, now question number 6 will begin with candidate Sadoff. What are your key priorities to affect change and that you want to see change? And what is the timeline to do so?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. What are your key priorities that you would like to see to make change in the district? And what is your timeline to do so?
Great question. One of my biggest goals is a really big picture goal and has to do with recycled water, reuse of recycled water. Right now, we are discharging millions of gallons a day through treated water through LWVEA to the bay. And East Bay Mud happens to have an injection well just outside of our treatment plant. It goes into the aquifer and it could be used to recharge the aquifer. I think it is a no-brainer to somehow lay some pipe and inject some of the millions of gallons to replenish the aquifer. We're going to have droughts again. It's just a matter of when. It's not a question of if. And so there's a lot of resistance to this kind of idea. It will take a lot of effort, and you'll hear about this again in my closing statement. But the timeline is, it's years. This is the type of thing that's going to take years, but it needs to start now.
Great, thank you. Candidate Akagi, your thoughts?
What was the question again?
What are your key priorities for changes you'd like to see and the timeline to do so?
I don't have any specific changes I'd like to see. The change I'd like to not see is for our service to decline and start to get in trouble in providing service. So the priority, I think my priority is to continue to be innovative and to explore new ways to do things. When I first got on the board in 95, we were very small. We were the eight person district, and no one knew who we were. There was no public education, or very little, and we just kind of scraped by. We've grown in the last since the late 90s to become provide additional services to improve efficiencies in operations and maintenance, and to recover resources from the solid waste stream. Thank you.
Thank you. And candidate McGowan, your priorities and timeline.
I think the two biggest issues that'll be facing the Castro Valley Sanitary District in the future are going to be climate change and nutrient removal from the bay. On the climate change side, I think that there are 3 things that we should be working on. We completed a horizontal levee project that demonstrated how we can both reduce nutrients and protect the shoreline from sea level rise. But we need to work with project partners to see that horizontal levee gets expanded so that it can protect San Leandro and Hayward. And in addition, it'll allow us to remove nutrients from the wastewater flow, because we'll be able to run that effluent through the horizontal levee, and biology will take its course. And then the other 2 things is, we're going to have higher storm intensity, and so we're going to need to increase the capacity of our sewer collection system. And so we'll be doing a new master plan to size those. Thank you.
Thank you. It just happens my next question is on climate change, so you'll have time to elaborate.
Excellent.
Great, thank you. This question is question 7, so we begin with Mr. Candidate Akagi. What should CV-SAN be doing related to climate change?
So, the way climate change affects the district would be primarily in wet weather with more frequent and heavier and more intense rainstorms, and the sea level rise affecting how the wastewater treatment plant operates. The master plan we're embarking upon will identify and help us identify what to expect, so we can make plans to increase pipe size, or perhaps hunt down where extraneous water is entering the system. At the treatment plant, things like the horizontal levee, how to protect the plant. We in the New Year's Eve of in December 31st, 2022, there was that huge storm that came in when it rained for like 20 hours or 24 hours. We had problems at the plant. Well, we learned. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Let's see, I'm trying to keep track of where I go next. Oh, I think we're to candidate Sadoff on this question now. Is that
Sure.
you haven't answered this? Great.
Okay. Yeah, with climate change, one of our
Oh,
biggest
wait a
issues.
minute. I'm sorry to interrupt. It's my mistake. I should have gone to candidate McGowan
McGowan.
first. I'm going to come back
Okay.
to you. I'm really
Okay.
sorry.
No,
Great.
no worries.
So candidate McGowan, if you would go ahead and talk about your district and climate change.
All right, so on climate change, I feel like there are two fronts. There's what we're doing on the prevention side and what we need to do on the adaptation side. On the prevention side, our wastewater treatment plant is already energy neutral because we generate electricity from our biogas and we have a solar panel field. We're currently installing some Tesla batteries that will allow us to bank that solar power for use in the evening. On the solid waste side, we compost our organics. That keeps them out of the landfill, which reduces the production of methane, which is a very potent greenhouse gas, 10 times worse than carbon emissions. And at our new building, we're installing solar and vehicle charging stations. Moving forward, we do need to work on the horizontal levee project. We need to size our facilities to account for the increased storms and their higher intensity. And a particular concern is we have a number of pipes that cross streams, and we need to make sure that they're protected from the higher and more frequent floodings. So thank you.
Thank you. And then thank you for your patience. Now to candidate Sadoff on this climate change issue.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah, one of the things, like Danny said, is there will be an increase in fluids entering our system. I think it would be beneficial to increase our flow monitoring and data interpretation. We can get monitors inside the pipes and see exactly what's going on in real time. And it's possible to maybe redirect high flows to other pipes that have more capacity. I think that's something to look into. As far as solid waste, SB 1383, we have been way ahead of the curve on that and have been well suited to head off some of the challenges of implementing the greenhouse gas mitigation measure. And we actually, again, Stop Waste used our model, our template that we'd already set up for theirs. They used it as a template. So again, we're leading the field and we're helping the entire Alameda County area. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to our next question, and we'll begin with candidate McGowan. Each board member has just one vote, and it takes a majority vote to take action. How do you see your approach, skills, and expertise assisting you in building a collaborative board and staff?
Thank you for asking me that question. And I really think that it's one of the skills and benefits that Daniel Akagi, Dave Sadoff, and I bring, which is we have years of experience of working together. It takes a collaborative team to get things done. I know on the national level, people play politics and they try to, win and lose. But at the local level, we need to solve problems. And the way we solve problems is, we work together. We listen to each other. We don't always agree, but we always listen and we try to work towards compromise. We try to build on the good ideas that other people bring up. And so I feel like we have really one of the best collaborative governance teams that that the public could ask for. And so I really hope that the voters will support us and give us 4 more years. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Sadoff, your thoughts on how board members can best collaborate?
Yeah, at the risk of sounding repetitive here, we are a high functioning board. It's other board members from other jurisdictions have come up to me privately and said, boy, I wish I was on a board like yours. We're usually a 5-0 vote, almost always. I don't know what the percentage is. If I am on the wrong end of a vote, which is very rare, or if anyone is, we just say, okay, we had our vote and the majority wins and we move on. That's democracy. That's how it should be played out. We've had outside consultants who've come in for various workshops, and one of them in particular is an ex-mayor of Tracy, stated that ours is one of the highest functioning boards he's ever seen. So it's I'm proud to be on this board. I'm proud of my colleagues, and the 2 that are here today, I highly recommend for re-election along with myself.
Thank you. And Mr. Candidate Akagi, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not sure I have a really good answer because as has been expressed, we get along, and I think together we make correct answers. We don't have big conflicts. So either we subconsciously know how to get along and move forward, or we're all correct. I myself do not believe I have any special personality traits to solve problems, but I do know that I've argued with Tim and Dave and Ralph and Christy at various times, and when I'm wrong, you get the ketchup and eat the crow. So we're a very high functioning board. I think our customers benefit from that because we come to decisions fairly quickly. There's not a lot of drama, and very little distraction. It helps make the general manager's job easier, staff's job easier, and ultimately it helps services and controls costs. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, our final question will begin with Candidate Sadoff. What's the #1 factor that led you to run for this office?
Wow, you stole my closing argument or closing statement. I believe in public service. That's one reason I'm on Rotary. I feel I have a lot to give, both through my professional career, my degree in geology from Cal State Hayward, the years of work in the environmental field in both solid earth and hydrogeology issues, understand groundwater flow and so forth. So I thought from a technical standpoint, I had something to give. I also enjoy working with people and coming to solutions, and that's something that this board does very well. Overall, it's just a desire to make this a better place for people who live and work here to be. It's a altruistic nature that I have. So
Great, thank you so much. Candidate Akagi, what's your number one factor that chose you to run?
So when I first got on the board, I was appointed to replace Don Stroop. And when I saw the advertisement placed in the Castro Valley Forum, I said, "Oh, this is interesting." I was already a sanitary engineer, but I was working for a consultant and didn't really see how the government worked, how my client worked. So part of it was to develop an understanding of what my customer is thinking. And I actually like being the customer at this point. My background enables me to understand a lot of the technical material. I have a long enough history now that I actually offer history when topics come up. So I just feel I enjoy it. I think I'm serving the community, and I think it's a good fit, and I enjoy working with Dave, Tim, Ralph, and Christy. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And candidate McGowan.
Sure. A little bit about my background. East Bay Mud hired me right out of college. And, so I was a young adult, and I'll be honest, I didn't understand how local government worked. I had taken government class, and that talked about the federal level and a little bit on the state. But it wasn't until I was hired by a local public agency that I realized, wow, really, when you look at what services people use on a day in and day out basis, it's not provided by the federal government, it's provided by the local government. And I got involved in my union. And one of my duties as a vice president of my union was to attend the East Bay Mud board meetings. And I would watch how those board meetings would interact. And I all of a sudden realized, this is something I could do. And so then I sought out a board, and the Castro Valley board seemed to be a good fit for my skill set. And now I've been doing it for 20 years. And I think that, I enjoy the public service, and I enjoy working with people. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I should mention that this form was originally going to have 5 candidates, and so we timed everything out, and we only have 3, but I even added 2 more questions, but that's why we're ending early, a little bit early. We still have to do our closing statements, and I have a few other things I have to read, but we're now ready for our candidates to make their closing statements. So we will begin with Mr. Candidate Sadoff.
Great. In closing, I'd like to again thank the League for their sponsorship of this candidate forum. I first got interested in actively participating in government back in 2000. At that time, one of the last chicken ranches in Castro Valley, the Alcorn Ranch on Seven Hills by the adult school, was eyed by a developer for housing construction. I, along with many friends and neighbors, fought the development due to its potential historical significance of the site. Mr. Alcorn was a prominent man in chicken ranching, and the housing density. We lost the historical fight, but won the density fight. As a result, Nate Miley appointed me to the Parks, Recreation, and Historical Commission, where I pushed for a countywide historical preservation ordinance. Once it passed, I resigned from the PRHC. Nate then appointed me to the Municipal Advisory Council, where I served for 12 years. One of my proudest achievements there was my vote for the CV Sand Marketplace. Although there are issues with it now, we have all seen the wonderful possibilities it brings to our community. And I hope the current squabbles will end so we can see it get back to being a community treasure. I have now served on the CV Sand Board for 13 years. One of my proudest votes was for the Alameda County single-use plastic bag ban, which I voted for as CV Sand's representative on the Alameda County Waste Management Authority Board, also known as Stop Waste. There's so much more to accomplish. One of my biggest goals now is to actively pursue the reuse of treated wastewater. There's an East Bay Mud injection well right next to our treatment plant. Instead of pumping millions of gallons of usable treated water to the bay, I think it is a no-brainer to simply lay some pipe and inject the resource into the aquifer. It will take some time and arm wrestling, but it is worth fighting for. I feel like I am just getting started in my position on the CV Sand Board. There's so much more to do. I respectfully ask you to vote for me and my colleagues, Tim McGowan and Danny Akagi. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we'll go for our closing statement to candidate McGowan.
Right. I too would like to thank the League of Women Voters for hosting this candidate forum so that voters can become more informed on the candidates that are running for the Castro Valley Sanitary District. I come from a background of being a civil engineer, having worked with East Bay Mud for 30 years. I understand how public agencies work on the staff side of the Diaz, and I've been on the CV Sand board for 20 years, so I understand what it's like to be on the board member side. So both I understand the obstacles that our staff has on executing our plans, as well as experience on how to set plans and goals that are manageable for them to obtain. I am very proud of the accomplishments that we've done, specifically our inspection upon sale, sewer lateral program, the horizontal levee and equalization basin, our 3Ps and wastewater public education program, and our zero waste program. Moving forward, I continue to want us to work on nutrient removal to protect the bay from harmful algae blooms, concentrate on adaptation to climate change, and making sure that we have a good landfill disposal agreement and a good labor agreement with our employees, because we really get nothing done without our employees. Local agencies are where problems get solved. Many of these problems, like nutrient removal and climate change, will require regional solutions where multiple public agencies will have to collaborate and work together to build projects that complement each other. In order for these regional solutions to evolve and to come into being, CV SAN needs leadership that has both experience, expertise, and most importantly, relationship with other public agencies. Daniel Akagi, Dave Sadoff, and I have a combined 60 years of experience and 60 years of building relationships with the leaders in our surrounding communities. So please vote for us. Thank you.
Thank you. And our candidate Akagi, your closing statement.
So I think if we're elected, we're being elected to do the job, and our job again is to establish policy, to guide the district, and stay out of trouble. Our policies keep our collection system running and operating well, keeps our recycling program running well, and staying ahead of the regulators. We control, we don't have garbage sitting around on the streets. We don't have wastewater coming out of all the manholes. So our job is to give our one employee the tools to provide the service we direct them to provide to the customers of Castro Valley, and to do it at a reasonable cost. I think that happens when you have a high functioning board. Dave, Tim, and I have been on the board together and worked together. We've had minor disagreements, but we iron them out. The other two members, Dave endorsed us for the getting reelected. So I think all around it's not just the three of us who are here in the forum right now, but it's all five. And I think the voters of Castro Valley have made good decisions for the last 20 to 30 years. So I hope they see fit to reelect Dave, Tim, and myself. Thank you.
Thank you. And per the League of Women Voters candidate forum rules, we did have one candidate who could not attend, and he did send his candidate statement. So I will read that at this time. He said, quote, "My name is Ken Owen. I was born in Oakland, grew up in San Leandro, and have been a resident of Castro Valley for nearly 50 years and a ratepayer of the Castro Valley Sanitary District. I've been married for over 50 years, have 3 grown children, all residents of Castro Valley, and 7 grandchildren. I am a retired sewer contractor with over 2,000 residential sewer replacements, as well as replacing a number of sewer mains in the Bay Area. I am also an attorney with a Master's of Laws in Environmental Sciences, or Environmental Studies, excuse me. I've been involved with CV-SAN and have attended many board and committee meetings since 2010, either in person or by Zoom. I was responsible for drafting regulations with others for the, quote, inspection upon sale, close quote, CV-SAN program. I personally was able to get the initial requirements more reasonable and manageable. My main concern with the current board is that they unanimously rubber stamp anything put before them by management. Whatever CV-SAN wants, CV-SAN gets, including a new $30 million operations and engineering building at Center Street and Castro Valley Boulevard. The board yearly approves raises for the general manager such that he currently makes $250,000 per year, and with benefits making it over $350,000 per year. The budget for the 25-member staff costs the ratepayers over $2 million per year. CV-SAN used to be a pay-as-you-go local district. The current board now has approved millions of dollars of 30-year revenue bonds to finance the operations and engineering building. Repaying these revenue bonds cost the ratepayers around $1 million per year. If elected, I would petition for term limits. The Castro Valley MAC board members serve 3 4-year terms. Currently, the 3 incumbents have served collectively for over 60 years. Enough is enough. If elected, I would also petition for lower rates for seniors and low-income customers, similar to the PG&E CARE program and East Bay Mud Customer Assistant Program. The other 2 non-incumbent candidates are well qualified and competent to replace the current incumbent. It is time for a change. Please vote for Ken Owen, Dar Saney, and Joe Gercher. And that was the candidate statement from Ken Owen. Great, thank you. Now I have a few short concluding remarks from the League of Women Voters. We know some of you may not have had your particular question answered or addressed, and the screeners combined similar questions of general interest to the audience in the limited time we had. We hope you will contact the candidates directly for additional information. Your local leagues also participate in Vote 411, an online collection of candidates' information. We encourage you to view the candidates' information at Vote 411. If you have moved or changed your name or wish to change your party affiliation since you last registered to vote, you need to re-register. Online voter registration is available at the Secretary of State's website, sos.ca.gov. I'm going to repeat that. The California Secretary of State's website is sos.ca.gov. It's secure and easy. The deadline to register to vote online is October 21st for vote by mail. Voters may also register to vote on Election Day and vote provisionally. Ballots will begin to be mailed out on October 5th, and you can vote in person, by mail, or place your ballot in an official Alameda County ballot drop box. Whatever you choose, please remember to cast your ballot on or before Election Day, which this year is on November 5th. Thank you to the candidates for participating this evening, and thank you for taking the time to become an educated voter. To our audience, we also had many volunteers participating and want to thank them for their help as well. We welcome any of you to join the League of Women Voters, which includes men. Men can join the League of Women Voters in doing hands-on work to empower voters and defend democracy. So please vote on November 5th or before. Thank you again to our candidates and our wonderful volunteers. Hi, this is Penny Peck with the League of Women Voters Eden area. I have a candidate statement from Darshan Saini, who's a candidate for the Castro Valley Sanitation District. My name is Darshan Sani. I have lived in Castro Valley with my wife and daughter since 2007. I was born in India and came to the USA in 1969 as a student with $8 in my pocket. I worked at various jobs in restaurants, factories, and hospitals, and put myself through 2 college degrees, finishing my BSc in business in 1972 and my MBA in 1974. In 1972, I registered with the U.S. Selective Service and have been a U.S. citizen since 1982. After my MBA, I held line management roles until 1997 when I was recruited by SPR Consulting in Chicago, and since then I worked as a technology consultant managing global projects for companies like Ernst & Young Consulting, Capgemini NA, and Cognizant Technology Solutions. My role has taken me around the globe 5 times, and my international clients have included GM Shanghai and Belgian Railways. In the USA, my clients have included HP, Cisco Systems, Philips, Genentech, Albertsons, and Farmers Insurance, just to name a few. Besides managing technology projects, one of my core competencies is change management. Due to my family circumstances, I retired from active IT work in May 2020 and have focused on my family and my hobby of real estate and tax advisory services since then. I got interested in CSV SAN after viewing their YouTube campaigns about the new CSV SAN building. When I learned that the CSV SAN board had rejected a $7 million building proposal and subsequently approved a $27 million proposal, I was immediately reminded of my encounter with Republic Waste Collection Services in Las Vegas that charged customers for waste collection even if their properties were not occupied. Upon consulting the Nevada Attorney General about this policy, I learned that Republic had a 100-year contract with the city of Las Vegas. Circling back to the CSV SAN new building, I feel the approval of a $27 million project is neck and neck with the decision that granted a 100-year contract to Republic. If I'm elected to the board, I will work with the 2 new board members to implement term limits for the board. The new board will make financial decisions in the best interest of the ratepayers of Castro Valley who have been completely ignored by CSV SAN in the present plans for rate hikes for the next 30 years. Thank you. Respectfully submitted, Darshan Sani. And we will attach this to our recording of the candidate forum we had. Thank you so much.